To talk about the pilots, their identity, the aircraft, all of that stuff, we're going to have to refer to the Navy because this is going to be their investigation.
So Good Samaritans recovered them in a boat?
In a boat, yes.
What's the process now with clearing the debris? We have heard maybe a crane's going to come in. Can you give us any details on that?
I don't know all the details because the Navy is primary on that. I do know it could take a while because you have to pinpoint exactly, where the accident happened, and you've got tide and wind that can push debris, anywhere. So it could be a while.
And describe to people, we were seeing the orange outline that was being used out there.
So that's a boom that is made to kind of prevent environmental spills from expanding, prevent the debris field from expanding, and kind of set the perimeter. Anytime there's an aircraft accident like this, there is a little bit of a concern about the maritime environmental impact. So the Port Environmental is aware of the impact that might have. The Coast Guard has their own emergency environmental response as well, in case any of that is needed.
What did you describe it as, a boom?
A boom?
Boom.
Yeah, BOOM.
So underwater, what is under the water of that orange?
The boom is just on the surface. The boom is just on the surface. There's not. It doesn't extend underneath the water.
Can you tell us anything about the pilots as they were taken through the water here and transported, their demeanor, anything?
Cannot. Anything for the pilots, you're gonna have to refer to the Navy on that.
What's the depth of the water with the plane?
The depth of the bay varies all over, and since the point of impact hasn't really been determined yet, you can kind of see the general area where they are, but I couldn't speak to the exact depth. I don't know.
What teams are out on the water right now?
Out on the water right now, it appears that there's, I've seen Navy boats, I've seen Coast Guard boats, and there's one Harbor Police boat helping maintain the perimeter right now.
One of the big concerns is environmental issues. I know you're on top of it now, but we have bad weather, we have currents, so with wind. What more can you do to make sure that more environmental damage isn't done?
There's not a lot you can do in the moment. I mean, it's environmental cleanup because the accident has already happened. So getting those booms out there and having all of your environmental teams on standby is really the best we can do right now because the Navy investigation is primary as they kind of get their perimeter set up and on lockdown.
Is the Navy in charge of removing the fighter jet from the water?
Yes, I believe that's going to be their responsibility.
How would they do so when that happens to you?
I don't know their process.
Has this ever happened before?
I believe there was a helicopter crash in the bay years ago. I don't remember the exact date of that though.
What's the intention of the maritime closure and how long is that expected to last?
We'll lift it as soon as we can. We don't want to extend that any longer. We have left an ingress and egress route, like I said, for essential emergency traffic. So if you were, your dock home port is the Kona Kai and you've been out all day, if you're coming back tonight, we're going to let you get back to your dock. But if you're just going out for a pleasure cruise for the day, please avoid the area because it's just for emergency traffic only.
It's just for the rest of the day that it's going to be?
I can't give an exact timeline because I don't know how long the recovery efforts will take.
So the Good Samaritans, there's a fishing boat. What sort of boat?
I heard fishing boat, but I couldn't even verify if it was a large fishing boat, a small fishing boat. I'm not sure.
Did they physically bring them out of the water?
I was not there for that part, so I don't know, sir. Sorry.
What hospital?
I can't say the hospital. We'll have to defer to the Navy on that one.
Okay, I think that's it, folks. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You've been listening to a live news conference underway around the San Diego Bay. There's a heavy emergency response around the Bay right now. We can tell you based on that news conference, we heard from Lieutenant Daniel Moan from Harbor Police. He says if you can avoid that area, it is best to do that. It is only open to emergency personnel right now. Obviously, the key from what we took away from this news conference is just removing that jet from the Bay. We want to recap exactly what happened. A military fighter jet, it crashed into San Diego Bay near Shelter Island this morning. Rescue crews responded. That happened around 10:15 when they got the reports that a military plane had crashed into the water. Military officials told the agency that 2 service members, they were on board. We're still trying to get clarity whether or not they were rescued by a charter fishing boat that happened to be in the area. They managed to locate those 2 service members and pull them from the water. Based on what they described to our reporter Dana Williams, we're told that they seemed and they appeared to be in good condition, but obviously those service members, when they were pulled out of the water, they were transported to a local hospital where they are being evaluated right now. We're told that they were actually taken by U.S. Customs and Border Protection boat and then taken to the dock where they were taken to UC San Diego Medical Center. This is a situation we're going to continue to follow. Again, if you happen to be in the area is closed. Emergency personnel only right now while that investigation into that mishap gets underway. We're going to stay on top of this story, bring you the latest updates on that plane crash starting on NBC 7 News at 4 o'clock. You can also stay up to date on our app or our website, that is NBC7news.com.
Tomorrow, wind, heavy rain, and